Hello everyone, I am Passioknit Kelsie. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to make this beautiful multicolor top. So let's get started. For this tutorial today, you are going to need a 5mm crochet hook. You're going to need a tapestry needle and some scissors. As far as the yarn goes, I would recommend using a worsted weight cotton. If you don't have cotton, you can use something else. Just make sure it is a worsted weight or a number 4. I am going to be using Lily Sugar and Cream cotton in the colors Coral Rose, Orchid, and Jade Mist. So let's get started. I'm going to be starting with the Coral Rose color, and I am going to be making a size medium. If you need instructions for any of the other sizes, you can find that on the screen right over here. So the first thing we are going to do is make our 2 little bra cups. I'm going to take my yarn and leave a good 5 or 6 inch tail, and then I'm going to make a slip knot. Put that on my hook, tighten it down, and get ready to start with a chain. So for the size medium, I am going to chain 14. Okay, after I have done that, we are going to go back on our chain, and we are going to start by rotating it to the side because we're going to be working right in these back bumps here. We're going to skip this first stitch and we're going to go right into the second one, right through this back bump. Once you're through there, we're going to yarn over and we're going to do a single crochet. So pull it through, yarn over again, pull through 2 to do your single crochet. Now I'm going to continue this all the way down my chain until I get to the very last one. Okay, here we are. I have 1 chain left. In the last chain, we are going to do 3 single crochets all in that back bump. This is also going to help us turn our work in a half circle because we're going to be crocheting right back down the other side of our chain, okay? So I'll do the first one. Here we go. Second one into the same spot. 2. And then the third one in the same spot. And those 3 stitches should have brought you in a half circle. So you should be easily looking right at the tops of your chain that we started with. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab a stitch marker. I am going to put my stitch marker in the middle of the last 3 stitches that we just did in the top of this cup here. So this is the first one. The second one, that would be the middle. I'm going to put my stitch marker in there. And then I just have 1 more. That's the third one. And from here, I'm going to continue down the other side of my starting chain all the way until I get to the end here. We're just going to do some more single crochets. I'm also going to be crocheting over my beginning end so I don't have to weave it in later. So if you can see, there should be the next stitch just right there and ready for you. They are going to look exactly like the tops of normal single crochets because we crocheted into the back bumps. Okay, so go through both loops. Yeah. And single crochet all the way back down. There we go. I just did my last single crochet, so this is what it should look like. This is where we started with our single crochets, we went all the way up here to the last stitch. We did 3 in the last stitch, marked at the center, and then we worked all the way back down. So it should be in a little U shape. Yeah. Before you move on from this step, it would be a little bit helpful if you would count your stitches on each side. Make sure that you have the same number on both sides and then 1 in the middle. Since I started with a chain of 14, I should have 13 stitches on each side and then 1 in the middle that is marked. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then there's my marked stitch. On the other side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And then there's my marked stitch in the middle. At this point, we are going to turn our work. I personally do not chain 1 in between rows of single crochet, but if you usually do, this would be your time to chain 1. I am not going to do that though. You're going to start your row of single crochets just as you normally would, right into your first stitch. Do a single crochet, and we're going to continue with our single crochets all the way until we get to our marked stitch in the center. Okay, once we get to our marked stitch, I'm just going to take this out. And we are going to do the same thing that we did before, which is 3 single crochets all in the same spot. So I'll go into that stitch that was marked, do my first single crochet. I'm going to do another one in the same spot. And I'm going to do another one right there in the same spot. So that's 3 in total. I'm going to pick up my marker and put it back in the center stitch, which is the second single crochet out of the 3 that we just did. Okay, and then I will just continue with my single crochets all the way down the other side until we get to the bottom. Okay, there we go. This row is just going to repeat itself until your cup has the correct amount of rows. So for the size medium, I am going to be doing that for 12 rows. Whenever you are counting these rows, we are counting from the center out, because one row starts here, goes all the way around on both sides. So if you counted all the way across, you would actually be counting double. You only want to count them 1 time. So start in the center, row 1, row 2. Okay, so I am going to go and do 12 rows and then I will be back. By the way, if you are counting your stitches whenever you're doing these, every row should increase by 2. All right, guys, after you have finished your amount of rows, you're done with your first cup. You can go ahead and snip off that yarn and make another one. But after you have finished your second cup, leave your yarn attached because we are going to be continuing from here, okay? Both cups should have the same number of rows. So for me, both of these have 12 rows. Just so you know, you can go ahead and cut off this center piece of yarn because we crocheted it in through these stitches here. I'm going to give it a little tug, pull this flat, and just snip it off right at the bottom. Okay guys, so once you have both of your cups done, you should be right at the bottom of your second cup here where you ended. I am going to turn this and we're going to start crocheting across the bottom of our cups. So right now I have an upside down triangle in my hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to chain one, tighten that up just a little bit, and then I'm going to start single crocheting right across the bottom of this here. You should generally put a single crochet in the end of every row, but there should be pretty well laid out little spaces for you. So first I'm going to go right here, just around the entire stitch through this hole with a single crochet. Next hole is this one right here, if you can see that. Next, that one. And I'm going to continue all the way across until I get to the end. All right, in the last stitch, which will technically be the top of your first stitch, right there, as if you were going through it like a normal stitch, we're going to be connecting this with the first stitch of our next cup. Whenever you're doing this, it would be wise of you to lay out your cups and make sure they're both facing the same way. So both of my stitches are in the same direction. It's not like a huge deal, but it's important to me because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. You can also just tell because your end should be coming off here. If you have it backwards, your end will be on the other side. So put your end where you're joining. And our hook is already through the last stitch of your first cup. So we're going to leave it there. We're going to grab our second cup. We're going to go through in the same spot. So right through your first stitch here. So now I have both of them on my hook, and I'm going to do a regular single crochet. So I'll yarn over, pull through the back, front, there you go, and now yarn over and pull through both loops, and that makes your single crochet. From here we will just continue our single crochets across. I'm going to do another one in the spot that we just did right here. While I'm doing this, I'm also going to be holding our end piece along the edge so I can crochet over it so I don't have to weave it in later. But I'm going to do my first single crochet right here, right in this hole where we just connected it. Okay, next. This should be pretty much the same as the bottom that we just crocheted across. Okay, be sure to end the row in the top of the first stitch of this row. See, looks like I'm pretty much at the end, but there is just one more right through here. Just to make sure I get all the way to the very end. Here we go. So this is what it should look like. We crocheted all the way across the bottom of both of our cups. So now I am going to go ahead and cut off this yarn here. Leave a good tail. Now we'll go ahead and pull this through and tighten it down. Okay. I'm going to grab my second color that I want to use, which in this case for me, it's going to be Orchid. I'm just going to get this color ready by putting a slip knot in there, putting that on my hook and tightening it down. I'm now going to make a chain. This chain is going to be the length of your side. So this is what is going to go around your sides and toward your back, right under your armpit here. So technically you can make this as long or as short as you'd like. I am just going to be following my size recommendations. So for the size medium, I'm going to chain 14. This is like generally the same number that you chained to start with your cups. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to chain 14. Okay, after you've done that, we are going to grab our cups, make sure they're right side up, and I am going to start with half double crochets, and we're going to do it right into this corner here. So got both of my cups because they're connected. I'm taking this one and we're going to go like in an M shape. I'm going to go up, down, up, down. So I want to start right here in this corner. I'm going to yarn over because I want to do a half double. I'm going to go through the first stitch right here. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all three. And that is a half double crochet. So I'll move on to my next stitch, which is this one right here. Do another half double crochet. And I'm going to do a half double crochet all the way up the side of my cup in every stitch until I get to the center, which should still have a marker in it. Mine doesn't because I forgot. Okay, once you get to your top 3 stitches right here, the first one is just going to be a regular half double crochet. The next one is your center stitch, which should have a marker in it. You can take the marker out. Now in that center stitch, we are going to do a half double crochet. We're going to chain 1. We're going to do another half double crochet in the same spot. Here we go. So we have a little space, and then we'll continue with our half double crochets down the center, okay? If you would like, you can put a stitch marker in your chain 1 spot because we are going to have to crochet into that later. If you want to put a stitch marker there just to help you, you totally can. I'm going to keep doing half double crochets until I have 3 stitches left in the center. This looks like 3, 1, 2, 3, but this is actually 4 because we are still counting this last stitch here where we attach the cups in the center, right? I'm just going to do one more. And then I have 1, 2, and this one here is the last one. So that's 3. On the other side, we're going to count the same way. So this stitch right here counts as number 1, and then there's 2, and there's 3. So in this stitch right here, the 4th one is where we're going to continue with our half double crochets. So I'll yarn over with my purple yarn, and go through that 4th stitch right there, and do my next half double crochet. Okay. Now I'm going to continue with my half double crochets all the way up until I get to the top of this next cup right here. In the top stitch, we are going to do the same thing that we did on the other side, which was a half double crochet, chain 1, and do another half double crochet in the same spot. You can put a marker in your chain 1 space. And now we're going to continue with half double crochets all the way down the other side of our cup. Your last stitch should technically be the top of your first single crochet that we did, going across the bottom. So it'll go right through those 2 loops right there. There you go. Now we need to chain, and it's going to be the same chain that we did on the other side. So I started with 14. That means I'm going to do 14 on the other side. Okay, so after you have your side chain, we are going to start doing a V-stitch across the bottom here. So to start, I'm just going to go ahead and chain 1 more. And then I'm going to start with a single crochet right here. Skip the first chain, the one we just chained, and go into your first stitch. Do a single crochet. From here, I'm going to make this into a stacked single crochet. So I'm going to go through the front leg, this loop right here, put my hook through there, and I'm going to do another single crochet. So I'll yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. That is a stacked single crochet, and that is going to count as my first double crochet. Okay, so to begin the V-stitch, we're going to skip 1. I'm going to go into the next one right here. I'm going to do a double crochet. Now I want to make my V, so I'm going to chain 1 for the space in the middle, and I'm going to do another double crochet right into that same chain spot where we just did our first double crochet, okay? Right here. So there's our first V. Now I'm going to skip 2, so this one and this one. Into my third space here, I'm going to do another V, so I'm going to do a double crochet. Chain 1, do another double crochet right there in the same spot. Now you have 2 V's. There you go. There you go. And we'll just pretty much continue this pattern all the way across. So I'm going to skip 2. And the third one, do your V, which is a double crochet. Chain 1, do another double crochet into that same spot. Skip 2, third stitch, do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. getting over here to the edge area, so I'm going to skip this one and this one. And our third stitch is going to be right around the post of this last half double crochet, right? So we're skipping 2 stitches. Our next open stitch is right around the post of this last half double crochet, so I'll just go right through here. Do my V, so double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all in the same spot. And then I will start skipping stitches right here with your first stitch on your cup. So skip this one, in this third spot, do your next V, which is the double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet. Work that all the way across. Right at the other end here, it's going to be pretty much the same. We're skipping these 2 stitches. So our next open stitch is going to be around the post of this first half double crochet here. Okay, starting on the chain, skip these 2 stitches and go into your third one. And continue to the end. At the end of the row, we're going to end with just 1 double crochet instead of a V, just like how we started the row. So I'll do 1 double crochet into the first chain. And then I'll just make sure that I have the same amount of V-stitches on both sides. So on this side, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's my end double crochet. And on the other side where we started, there is also 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the first double crochet where we started. So there you go. Now I'm going to be introducing a new color into the mix. So I'm going to grab my Jade Mist cone. To add in this color, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it on my hook like this with a pretty good tail, 4 or 5 inches. And I'm going to pull it through the loop. And then I'm going to tighten up this purple loop here. So now you should pretty much just have your new color on your hook. For me, that color is Jade Mist. I'm not going to cut off the purple. I want to leave it there because I'm going to be switching back and forth between rows, and it's just easier to leave your colors attached. There's also much less ends to weave in later. So anyway, I'm going to turn my work now. And I'm going to do another row of V-stitches with the new Jade Mist color. So I'm going to start by doing a stacked single crochet in the first stitch here. So same thing that we started with on the purple row. I'm going to do a single crochet in the first stitch. And I'm going to go through the front leg, this loop right here. I'm going to do another single crochet. And there's my stacked single crochet. That counts as my first double crochet. So moving on, I'm going to find my next open V-stitch So this is your V from the row before. We're going to be working into this chain 1 space in between your 2 double crochets. So this hole right here. I'm going to do another V, so I'm going to yarn over, go through the space right into the hole, do a double crochet. I want to make another V, so I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to do another double crochet in the same spot. So we just made another V on top of our last V. See? We're going to do this all the way across in every chain 1 spot. All the way until we get to the end. At the end, there should be 1 double crochet left. Okay, so I just did my last V-stitch on top of my last V. I should have 1 double crochet left. So from here, I'm just going to do a double crochet right on top of that last one to end the row. This is what your row should look like. Again, I'm going to introduce a new color. We're going back to the coral rose. So I will just grab that color, kind of fold it over with a tail about, 4, 5, 6 inches, however long you want it. And I'm going to put that on my hook. I'm going to pull it through my last loop in my last color, which is Jade Mist. And then I will pull on my long end on the Jade Mist, which is going to close up my loop. Okay. And now we have our new color attached. And I'm not going to cut off this color because I'm going to come back to it later. So just leave that dangling and turn your work to get ready for the next row. We're just going to do another row of V-stitches, so it's going to be exactly like the last one. I'm going to start with a stacked single crochet. That will count as my first double crochet. I'm going to go into my next V-stitch. Do the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Gonna repeat this all the way across until I get to the end where I will find my last double crochet. Okay, I'm right here at the end. I just did my last V, so now I'm going to do my last double crochet right here. Now for the next row, the color that I want to change to is purple, which is very convenient because it is sitting just right down here waiting for me. So I'll go ahead and drop this color that I was working with, grab my purple, still connected to the ball. Just pull it right up here, yarn over and pull it through my loop. Going to tighten this loop down. It's my last color. Make sure this little yarn right here has room to breathe. It should be just in line with the sides of your last 2 rows. And this is okay here because we're going to do a row of crochet around the entire thing at the end. We'll just crochet right over it and you won't even know that it's there. But anyway, moving on, we've got our new color. So I'm going to leave this one dangling here for the next time I need it. I'll turn my work and I will do a whole another row of V-stitches. Okay guys, right here at the end of the row, I'm going to do my last double crochet. And the next color that I want to change to in the pattern is Jade Mist, which is perfect because it is hanging out just right down here for me. I'm going to drop the purple, pick up the Jade Mist that is still connected to the ball, yarn over, pull through. I'm going to tighten down my purple loop. Leave this right here loose. Make it line up right with the 2 rows below. And now you can go ahead and turn your work. Work the next row of V-stitches and just leave your purple hanging there, okay? All right, here we are at the end. I'm going to do my last double crochet. And there we go. Next color I need to change to is Coral Rose, which just happens to be right here. So basically, you get the idea by this point. You can do as many V-stitch rows as you would like. I will probably just do about 2 more, and I'll meet you back here, and we will go over what to do next as far as the outline and the straps go. But okay guys, I'm back. I've done all the rows that I wanted to do on the bottom of my top, which was 7 rows of the V-stitch. Now we are going to do our outline. So if you look at your cups, the next color, to keep the colors going in the right order, the outline color is going to be made with Jade Mist. So at this point, I'm just going to cut off all the other colors that I don't need anymore. So on this side over here, the Coral Rose is still attached. I'll just cut that off. And on the other side over here, purple is still attached. So I will cut that one off. And I'll go ahead and pull through, tighten that down. And then the Jade Mist is still attached right here, so that's just where I'm going to start my outline. So I'll turn my work. I want to make sure I'm working around the front of the top. It should be the front side of your half double crochets. This is what the back side looks like. And this is what the front side looks like. Where we have our outline color attached, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the hole right here where it's attached. Put my hook through there, yarn over, and pull that up so we have a starting loop. Now I'm going to make a chain. Okay. And then I'm going to start doing single crochets. So every double crochet end gets a single crochet, and in between every row gets a single crochet. So around this double crochet post right here. I'm going to do a single crochet. And then the next one is going to go in between rows. So this right here in this hole. I'm also making sure to crochet over any ends like this, and then this one. Next, it's going to go around this entire double crochet. It's a little bit thicker because it's actually a stacked single, but that's all right. Go around the whole thing. Okay, next is going to be in between rows, so this hole right here. And then I round this double crochet again. That's how it's working up. In between rows, around the double crochet, in between rows. And then on the last one here, this is going to be our corner. So for this area, I usually like to just do 3 single crochets around the whole thing. If that doesn't really feel like enough, you could do 4. But I'll start with 1 around that, 1 in the corner, all in the same space, and then another one for this top area here. And that 3 is enough for me, so I will move on and start doing single crochets along here. I'm going to be crocheting over these pieces of yarn while I'm working at it. Whenever you come up to this V-stitch, I'm just going to go over all of this, and I'm going to go right through the center of the V. So I'm going to go through this and do my single crochet. The next 2 chain spaces, I'll just do 2 around the entire chain. Next V space, same thing, go through the whole thing. And same thing with this chain 2 space. Next V space. Chain 2 spot. Okay. V spot. And then the last thing you have before it starts the half double crochets up the side of the cup should be a chain 2 space. What we're going to do is we're going to do 1 single crochet in there. And then from here, we're actually going to start doing half double crochets around the cups right on top of the row of half double crochets that we did in purple right here. So I just did the 1. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go into the top of my first half double crochet, which is this one right here, this little hole. And I'm going to do my first half double crochet. Okay. And then I will continue with my half double crochets all the way up the side of my cup. Okay, until I get to my marked spot, which is the chain 1. Alright guys, once you get to your marked space, your chain 1, you can take out your marker. We're going to do 1 half double crochet in the chain 1 space. And then we are going to start a chain, and this chain is going to go all the way for your straps. It's going to go all the way over your shoulders, and it's also going to lace up the back of your top, okay? So this is going to be very long. For the size medium, I am going to be chaining 200. So I will just get that started. It's going to take a little bit. All right, guys, here we are back with my 200 chains. Now we are going to go all the way back down this chain to make it a little bit thicker, also so we can meet right back up here and continue our outline. What I like to do is slip stitch back down my chains, and I do that by going through here, yarn over, pull through, and pull through, and I will continue this all the way back down the chain. If you would like your chains to be any thicker as far as the straps go, you can do single crochets instead of slip stitches, or you can possibly do half double crochets instead. Either way, just work your way all the way back down the chain until you reach the top. Okay guys, made it all the way back down the chain. Just going to do my last slip stitch, my last chain here. And I'm also going to do a slip stitch into the top of this, my last half double crochet. I'm just going to go through the front of all three of those, do a slip stitch. Okay. Now I'm going to yarn over and do another half double crochet in the chain one space here. There we go. And then I'm going to continue with half double crochets down the center of this. And once we get towards the middle, we are going to skip some to make another hole just like we did down here. Okay, getting towards the middle here, and I'm going to skip 3 on each side. So there's this one, and this one. Looks like I just need to do one more. Okay, so I'll skip these 3. And then I'm going to skip 3 on the other side. So there's this one, and this one. So I'll go into the 4th right here with my next half double crochet. Okay, and then we'll just continue this up to the top of the cup. All right, once we've come to the stitch marker with the chain 1, take the stitch marker out, do 1 half double crochet in the chain 1 spot, and we're going to repeat what we did with our other strap. So I am going to start a chain of 200 right here. Okay, after you have your right amount of stitches, you're going to do the same thing that you did down the chain on your other side. So what I did was slip stitches. I'm going to keep doing that. If you did single crochets or half double crochets, you can do those all the way back down to the top of your cup. Okay, and once you have your second strap done, slip stitch all the way back down, and you're right at the top of your other cup, you're going to continue with your half double crochets. Put 1 in the chain 1 space there with your first one, and then keep doing them in every half double crochet all the way down to the side of your cup here. Okay, after going through the last stitch right there, you should be just in line with the chain 2 space, which if we line up with the other side, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in there. There we go. And then you're going to be in the bottom of this V. So remember, just do a single crochet around the whole thing. Next, chain 2 space, put 2 single crochets in there. Next, go through the entire V, chain 2 space, V, chain 2 space, V, and then right here you have your corner, which I'm going to do 3 single crochets in just around the entire thing. Okay, that worked you around your corner. And then we are going to do the same thing on the side that we did on the other one, right? So in between every row and around every double crochet. So this will be in between your row, around the double crochet, between your row, around the entire double crochet there. Keep going until you get to the bottom. Okay, at the bottom, we're going to have this space. It's going to be the same as this top corner here. So we're just going to do 3 single crochets around the whole thing. There you go. Now we'll turn our work and we're going to be going across the bottom here. Okay, now for going across the bottom, I just want a little thicker strip of the Jade Mist color, kind of like we do around the cups up here. So I'm going to do a half double crochet in every stitch across the bottom. So in the first stitch here, this double crochet, I'm going to do a half double. So I yarn over, go through the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. And there's my half double. I'm going into every stitch and every chain space across, okay? So the next thing is a chain space here. Just gonna go through the whole thing. Next, we have these 2 double crochets. Go into both spaces with a half double crochet. And just continue all the way across in every single stitch and chain space. Okay, on the other end, I'm going to do my last half double crochet in this double crochet right here. And then this is matching up with this, which is our other corner. So we need to do 3 single crochets in this little space right here. Just go around the whole thing. There we go. And then I'm going to continue with my single crochets up the side until we get to where we started. And there we go. Now you can go ahead and cut off your yarn. Leave about 5 to 6 inches for you to weave in. I'm going to take this and pull it straight out. And then I'm going to grab my tapestry needle, thread this up on the stitches, if you can see where your first single crochet started, right here, go to the top of that. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your needle, you're going to go through the back loop and the front loop. Just go right under the top of your first single crochet that you did. Right there. Pull that through. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go down through the top of the last single crochet that we did. It's a little hard to tell, but it's this loop right here where your current yarn is coming out of. So just go back down through there. What that does is it connects the loops on the side. Pull it just a bit tighter. So now you see kind of like this pattern continues. Not super well, but it's better than nothing. And then you can take this opportunity to weave in any ends that are sticking out. Just turn to the back of your work, use your needle, and weave them in. Okay guys, once you have your ends nice and woven in as you please, we are officially finished with our top. What do you think? Lacing up the top is not too bad. You're just going to want to flip it over. After you've done that, go ahead and grab one of your straps. I'm just going to start on the left side. And I'm going to take it over to my right side. Luckily, this stitch on the bottom is very holey, so you can put it pretty much anywhere. Just start at the top corner, put it through there, and then I'm going to take this and go over to the other side, somewhere in the middle, put it through there. Okay, and lastly, take this piece and bring it all the way back over and go through the bottom corner. Okay. We'll do the same thing with the other strap on the right side. I'm going to go over to the left, put it through the top corner. Go back to the right side, put it through the middle. And then go back over to the left and put it through the bottom corner. So these go over your shoulders and they lace up the back and they tie together in a nice little bow at the bottom. So there we go, everyone. I want to say thank you so much for watching. If you like this tutorial, let me know. Give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment. If you make this, please tag me on social media. I would love to see it, and I would also love for everyone else to know where you found the tutorial. Once again, thank you for watching. I have lots of other top tutorials on my channel if you're interested. I also post other crochet related content if you would like to watch that. Anyway, I hope to see you around, and I hope that you love your brand new top. Bye!